We have some important primaries, and including some tomorrow. So if you live in Arizona, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, or Washington, you need to pay super close attention. All of us need to pay close attention because, as we saw with Bernie, these good progressives are up against a really tough situation. The establishment does not want them to win. The establishment is playing incredibly dirty. Michigan Rep. Rashida Tlaib, a member of the House's progressive squad, is fighting to keep her place in Congress. Progressives are hoping the second time is the charm for their candidate in one of Missouri's few Democratic strongholds. Let's see here. Tuesday's elections will put the strength of the progressive movement to the test once again. In Tlaib's case, the left wing of the Democratic Party will have to defend one of its biggest stars, who came into power without an absolute majority of votes. In Missouri, progressives are looking to oust another incumbent Democrat, Representative Lacy Clay, after failing 2 years ago. And they're talking about Cori Bush, who I will talk more about. Given Tlaib's national stardom as a member of the squad of progressive women elected to Congress in 2018, it's easy to forget that she almost didn't make it to Washington. In the six-candidate primary in 2018, Tlaib received just 31% of the vote, edging out her closest competitor, Brenda Jones, by a single percentage point. Jones, who is black, is trying to unseat Tlaib on Tuesday, with a call for voters to return Jones to Congress. The race tests Tlaib's ability to transcend the demographic divisions in Michigan's 13th congressional district. The district, which encompasses parts of Detroit and adjacent suburbs, is mostly black and was represented by Conyers, a leader in the civil rights movement for 52 years. So they're talking about, what Rashida Tlaib is up against. Rashida is truly impressive to me. She doesn't mind saying the truth. She doesn't mind speaking her truth. She doesn't mind speaking out against the establishment. She had a very famous moment where she got in a lot of hot water with Normie Dems for calling out Hillary Clinton. Progressives, of course, thought it was a great moment. Rashida Tlaib is a great candidate, and hopefully she will hold on to her seat because her progressive politics, her policies, are exactly what we need, in my opinion. Here's more about Cori Bush, a chance for another progressive upset, this time in Missouri. Cori Bush, a progressive pastor and registered nurse, is trying for a second time to unseat Clay, a Missouri Democrat who has represented the St. Louis area since 2001. Clay, whose father was the first black person to represent Missouri in Congress, defeated Bush in 2018 by nearly 20 percentage points in a four-candidate field. This time, though, Bush has more endorsements, money, and momentum, enabling her to air TV ads for the first time. She appears to have benefited from the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, in which she got her start in politics. Bush also has the support of outside groups spending on her behalf. Justice Democrats, the left-wing group that recruited Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Jamal Bowman, has purchased $150,000 worth of TV ads boosting her. And the anti-monopoly group Fight Corporate Monopolies is spending $100,000 on an ad attacking Clay for opposing the Obama administration's fiduciary rule requiring fund managers to act in the best interests of their clients. Clay received $440,000 from corporate PACs this election cycle alone. Their contributions make up a large majority of his total fundraising haul. I wonder why the Democratic Platform Committee didn't want to ban corporate PAC money. Interesting. A victory for Bush would be another coup for the Democratic Party's left wing. We here at Status Coup are ready for a coup for sure. Fresh off the heels of Bowman's defeat of veteran New York Rep. Eliot Engel. Then they talk more about Clay. Let me show you some things. Whoops, it's reloading here. Some things that are good about Cori Bush's race, and some things that are pretty dicey. So Daniel Marans, who is a pretty well-known political reporter, so he has a list of elected officials who are endorsing Cori Bush for Congress as of today for tomorrow's primary. So here we go. A rush of local elected officials endorsed Cori Bush's campaign against incumbent Lacy Clay for Missouri's 1st District. Council members, councilwoman, council member, president, director. So a bunch of local politicians have endorsed Cori. That's great. Then he talks about Justice Dems pouring in that $150,000. That's good. Not even accounting for outside groups, Bush's campaign has been outspending Clay's on TV in the final 2 weeks of the campaign. So that is good news for Cori Bush. She's getting these additional endorsements, this additional money. But here's something disturbing, and this is how the establishment is. This is how dirty the establishment plays. So this person, let me see if I can just open up their tweet. This person posted, scoop possibly, here's where Representative Lacy Clay has decided to take the campaign, and its final days facing a challenge from progressive activist Cori Bush. They have, and Cori tweeted about this too, the Lacy Clay campaign has sent out an image of Cori Bush in blackface, essentially. Obviously, Cori Bush is a black woman, but they darkened. She's with Linda Sarsour in this picture, so they darkened Cori Bush's side of this picture. So they were trying to make her skin look even darker. This, of course, is egregious and highly disturbing that they would do this. They also are attacking Cori Bush on supporting BDS. So here you can see Lacy Clay and, again, the darkened image. Obviously, I can't speak for Cori, but I did see her tweets. I retweeted her tweets. I feel awful for her. This stuff that progressive candidates have to go through when going up against the establishment, it doesn't end. It's like the establishment just thinks they can get away with anything, and surprise, they can get away with anything, it seems. So I'm hopeful, personally hopeful, that Cori Bush wins. I have a personal story about Cori Bush. Before Status Coup, I actually was on the writing team for Justice Democrats and Brand New Congress. And so part of that would be writing campaign emails for their slate of candidates. And Cori Bush was one of those. So I wrote, I think it was a fundraising email for Cori Bush, and, went about my day writing other stuff. And then we were all in Slack. So I received a Slack message from Cori, just taking time out of her day, her busy campaign schedule and life. And she just thanked me. She said she loved the email I wrote. She thought it was great, and she just wanted to make sure I knew that. That's always given me a warm, fuzzy feeling about Cori, because she's a real fighter. She's a great person. Her policies are excellent. I had no qualms about writing things for Cori Bush back then. So I'm hopeful. The establishment is sure hard to beat. Lacy Clay's going to be super hard to beat, but I'm hoping she can do it. I'm hoping progressives come together. I'm hoping people realize how great of a candidate Cori Bush is. Someone who truly understands the people of this country and who will serve them. Let's talk a little bit too about Ilhan Omar. So Ilhan Omar, obviously out of Minnesota, is facing a challenge as well. So Omar represents Minnesota's 5th district, where George Floyd was killed by a police officer on Memorial Day. The district is a hotbed of activism and the state party's wheelhouse for driving turnout in statewide races. So let's scroll down. Since arriving in Congress, Omar has both placed herself and been foisted by Trump into the center of the national political scrum. In the summer of 2019, Trump, seizing on tensions among House Democrats, tweeted that progressive Democrat Congresswoman, a clear reference to the Squad, should go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. Horrible. A few days later, at a rally in North Carolina, Trump attacked Omar by name, then quietly stood by as the crowd chanted, "Send her back," when Omar, a Somali-American immigrant, returned home to Minnesota from Washington a day later. She was greeted in the airport by throngs of adoring supporters. Omar is one of the most popular figures on the progressive left and a top target for many moderate national Democrats ahead of her own primary, a week after Tlaib's on August 11th. Her challenger, lawyer, and first-time candidate Anton Milton Moe has raised nearly $4 million, with almost $500,000 of it bundled by a pair of pro-Israel political action committees. In part a legacy of the backlash to Omar's past criticisms of the pro-Israel lobby's influence on lawmakers, which many described as employing anti-Semitic tropes. She apologized, and of course people continue to call her anti-Semitic, which she of course is not. There are so many conspiracy theories about Ilhan Omar. It's disgusting. Of course this new candidate is targeting her. Despite being outraced by her challenger, Omar, who lost her father this year to COVID-19, has across-the-board support from the state's Democratic Farmer Labor Party, including popular figures like her predecessor in the 5th District, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison. Like Tlaib, Omar also has the endorsement of Pelosi, who, despite being critical of the left at times, has consistently backed her incumbent members. Omar's victory in 2018 has also helped her case. Lots of excitement coming up with primaries. It's hard to kind of stay focused on these statewide or local campaigns and to forget, especially in the age of COVID, that it's important to support and retweet these progressive candidates. They need your support. Even if you live in a different state, we need more squad members in Congress. We need our current squad members to stay in Congress. So good luck to those in primary challenges tomorrow and the following Tuesday.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.